they think it's icky. But people, it's only icky if you're icky. Well, it's true. It's only icky if you're icky. See, everybody's walking out on the three-way call. Three-way call. Well, I gotta go. It's a good time for a break. Three-way calls. Yeah, I go to the bathroom. Did you see the room empty out when I said that? Thank you for that. Okay. So, wow, it really, here she goes. So, I should just say break. Three-way call. Let me explain to you why this is so important for you. Number one, duplication. Even if you can go all the way through this, you shouldn't, because you need to show that new person that all they need to simply do is point somebody to do a video, ask them what they liked about it, and when they have questions, hey, I don't know, all I know is, but I'm working with somebody, and edify them. Okay? That was a relief to me. I came in on that basis, so I thought that that's what you did. And when my sponsor said, hey, can you just show people a video, and when they have questions, get them on the phone with me, I said, yes, thank you. You mean I don't have to learn all the stuff? I don't have to know what you know? I don't have to have the background, the experience? And I funneled everybody through him. And I grew fast as a result, and I don't understand people's hesitancy to do this. If you brought a guest down here today, would you introduce that person around? Would you say something good about the people you're introducing them to? So you wouldn't hoard them in the corner until we're ready to start? No, of course not. That's what you do anyway. So here's my key for you to be successful with three-way calls. Ready? Just be the same person on the phone that you would be in person. You guys get freaked out over this stuff, and it's nothing different than who you are and what you've been doing your whole life, because it's a business now and blah, blah, blah. Forget that. Just be the same person on the phone you'd be in person. Be honest. You don't know the answer, but, I'm working with this wonderful woman named Mindy, and she's very knowledgeable. She's been in the company a while. She helps a ton of people. She's the nicest woman in the world. She just works her butt off for everybody, and she's the right person with the information. And let me see if she's around. You'll dig talking to her, and we'll get your questions answered. I'm just real casual. I don't freak out. Most people, they don't want to introduce it because they think it's weird and they don't know how, and then they mess up, and then they're uncomfortable, and because you're uncomfortable, you're making them uncomfortable. They're not as freaked out about it as you are. Okay? They're not. They're not. But you have to have confidence about it. But it never made sense to me why people don't do it. Listen, if you just got a job at a place that sold, let's say, outdoor weatherproof, what you need out here, weatherproof storage units, right? And you're brand new and you're green in the company, and the top salesperson in the company says, hey Bob, I'll tell you what, you just take them out there, show them, let them, feel, touch, look at it, and I'll come over, I'll answer all their questions, their objections, whatever it is, I'll do the heavy lifting, close the deal, and you'll make the money. Would you say, oh no, I don't want to do that? That's what that is here. I let my guy who's 6 figures experience, do all the heavy lifting. And you want to know something? It was the best training I got in the industry, was to be on the other end of the line of the three-way call when he was talking to people. And I got to hear how he dealt with all the questions and objections and the chatter, and how we moved people along through that follow-up process and the tools and to see the next thing. And I learned what to do. Now, when I became the expert for people, It's such an important piece of the puzzle of duplication here. You've got to do three-way. There's a saying in our business that your paycheck will be in proportion to the amount of three-way calls that you make. If you don't do what that other person's supposed to do, the business will never grow beyond you. It'll never move away from you. And you need it to, because it's all about duplication. Now, when you put somebody through this process and they come out as a brand partner, now you have a willing business partner, and the whole objective here is to work with the willing. And it doesn't take that long to work with the willing, because there ain't that many willing. No? You don't agree? Oh, you agree, but you're shaking your head because it's a shame. It's not a shame. Really. And you have to think about that. Because the people who stick around are the people that are meant to stick around. That gives you more time to produce. And you guys got to stay in phase one. Can I tell you guys something that's really, really important? Do not get into management mode. You will never build a successful business slowing down constantly, looking behind you at what others are or are not doing. You spend time in the rearview mirror, you can't go forward. And the reason why our feet face forward is because it's the direction we're meant to go. You're going to need to find 4 or 5 more of you. If you're committed, if you're on the calls, if you're at the training, if you have a why, if you're here for the long term, you're going to need to find 4 or 5 more of you. And you'll do that faster if you spend more time looking for them. You can keep trying to turn pigeons into eagles. I'd rather just find the eagles. Bless you. You get that? I'm serious. Don't sit there and keep managing people. Because when you find people that are going to plug in and be on the calls and go for it and just do the little things over time, you don't have to babysit them. They're here for their reasons. They're going to go forward regardless of you, in spite of you. You're here whether your sponsor's here or not. True? So what does that matter? So many people base what goes on here according to what others are doing. That makes no sense. The way I looked at it, hey, if I'm running a race with 25 people and 24 of them drop out, I win. And really, that's what happened for me. So all that I just talked about is about mastering the 2-a-day system. And I'll wrap up this slide with this. 2 a day. Now the reason why this is so brilliant is, again, this business has to be duplicable, part-time. That's why 15 minutes of audio, 10 pages. It's not a book a day. The whole point of 2 a day is because everybody can do that. Again, I can't take excuses from anybody. I'm sorry. Challenges aren't special gifts reserved for any one of you. Okay, my favorite saying is life is 10% what happens to you, 90% how you respond to it. Because what happens to us happens to all of us. But you have to understand that being successful here, achievement is just a result of you doing the right activities consistently over time. There is no more important component to that than being consistent. Because it's not about time. It doesn't take a lot of time. It takes you being consistent. 2 a day. It's about compounding the numbers over time. 2 a day, if you're doing 5 days a week, is 40 a month, is 500 exposures a year, and you can't share what we have with 500 people and have some of those seeds not fall on fertile ground. You're going to hit. Over the course of time, maybe none this month, 2 next month, 1 the next month, 4 the next month, none the next month. It's not about that. It's about over time. Like your 401k, how you build retirement. You guys know this. It's the slide edge. It's the compound effect. It's whatever you want to call it. It's how it works. But it doesn't work without you committing to the important things that cannot be missed. The things that you must do first before you do the second things at all. It's always about that. And the needle doesn't move unless and until you get this in front of somebody. 2 a day. Everybody can do 2 a day. I don't care how busy you are. There were days when I had 12, 14-hour days where I didn't do my 2 a day because I asked my leaders, they all said the same thing. How do I make it here? 2 a day. Anything else that you have to sacrifice, you cannot sacrifice your 2 a day. That's how you make it. 2 a day is your ticket to freedom. I did a lot of things wrong, but if I did one thing right, I got my 2 a day. And in 14 months in a very difficult company of just doing the little thing consistently over time, as I've mentioned, I built enough leverage and enough of a business where my part-time income exceeded my full-time. I threw the switch, I had my freedom. Here it's happening for people faster, but it won't happen unless you do your 2 a day. And there were nights when it was 10 o'clock at night where I didn't get my 2, and I'd drive home, I'd stop at a 7-Eleven, I'd take a couple magazines out, because that's what we used a lot at the time, with my label on it, and I'd say, here Chelsea, I'm on my way home from work, my job is to help my company expand, we're looking for people in the area, I don't know if what we're doing makes sense to you, my information's on there, give me a call if it does. Now, is that a good exposure? No, it's a terrible exposure. I didn't get her number. I probably just wasted the $4. But you know what it did? It worked out over time. It was the habit. Habits will make you great. It was the habit I was building of doing my 2 a day. It didn't matter. Some days were better, some days were worse. But all I knew was I had to get my 2 a day. That's what they told me. I'm serious. People say I don't have the time. Drive by a bus bench, go here. Doesn't take any time. I'm serious about that. You've got to get your 2 a day. Okay, understand that. Cannot sacrifice that. There's no one in here that can't do that. It's not whether you can or you can't. It's whether you will or you won't. 2 a day. No excuses. Y'all gonna get your 2 a day? Yes. You don't, I'm gonna hunt you down. I will come back here with clothes. By the way, 2 points. Just focus on the right activities. You'll get there with the point. Now, we can hand out magazines. We all know about that, right? Handing out the magazines is a third-party tool. The lead capture pages, third-party tool. The magazine auto ship, which I love. Do you know why they guarantee you? Because they know if you're getting the 2 a day out, you can't fail. We know that. We know. Jeff knows that, listen, the person, some people say they do it, people fake it, but the person that does their 2 a day and doesn't make it to the top of his comp plan, we don't have that person in our business. He knows that. No matter how you are, it's going to work for you. And that's why he guarantees you the income if you're really doing the 2 a day. So that's the magazine auto ship program, which I love. Because when you have them there, it makes you feel horrible you're not getting them out because the next box is coming. And it makes you get in that habit of doing it. Habits are everything, guys. You know that, right? It's all about you building the right habits.
I thought they canceled it last fall and we couldn't join.
It's in the training, it's in the back office, it's everywhere.
But they sent out our corporate emails that they were putting it like last
I was asking for you guys. I got COVID. Thank you. It's very sweet. I appreciate it. Okay. The recruiting calls, okay? All I'm doing is illuminating some of the different tools you have to point people to. You want to be an expert at pointing, not explaining, right? Just keep pointing people to the tools. And what did we say? Duplication is what success looks like, so this is what you want. Okay? This is you. This is a team of 10. This is a team of 30. That's what that looks like. That's called, what's the word for that? What's the favorite word of the wealthy? Leverage. Are you building leverage? You can spend your time any way you want, but you wouldn't be frivolous with your money, hopefully. Why are you frivolous with your time? Keep pounding you on this. It's the same investment for you. And we talked about the follow-up three-way call and all that. Attending events. What's the importance of attending an event? Well, let me put it this way. What's more exciting, being at the concert or listening to the live CD? Concert. It's a place where people play live music. It's a concert. So, let me tell you something. In the beginning, didn't I talk about it's about belief? Belief in this has to happen first, right? To go out and... Well, if the only belief that people have about this is what they see on the 17-inch monitor, it ain't going to happen for them. You've got to get to the events. And you've got to get your people to the events. Why do you have to be here? Because nothing's going to happen in your organization that you don't do. Just like with the 2 a day. Do you want everybody you bring in this business to do their 2 a day? People, wake up. Yes or yes? Yes. Well, guess where that starts? You've got to do your 2 a day. It's the way karma, the world, whatever you want to call it, works. People know when you're doing it. They hear it in your language. They see it in you. They'll feel it from you. You'll have the stories. Your business, your organization is a mirror image of what you're going to do and what you don't do. You get that? Here is how you want to measure yourself. This is one of the most important things that I can give you here today. So write this down. If my team did what I did today, would I be making any money? Do you understand that's what you have to measure everything up against? Would you take a snapshot of your day yesterday or the day before and have the ability to take a life snapshot of that and hand it to your new brand partner and say, hey Gary, just watch this. This is what you want to be. This is a model of the behavior and activity you want to have in this business. Can you do that? That's a real look in the mirror, guys. This is really, really important for you. Like I said, stop managing other people. Manage yourself well, and you'll be ready to start leading. If my team did what I did today, is that the way to make it? Just be the brand partner you want your brand partners to be, and you'll be all right. So being in an event, which is what this was about, being in a live event is important because it builds the belief. And If you have the belief, you'll go out and do the activity, and the activity will lead to the results, which will feed back into your belief system. You've got to get people to see the bigger picture. It's like with a third-party tool. And the bigger the picture, the bigger the vision, the bigger the belief. Okay, you have a real results party, which is better than your 17-inch monitor. You have a market party where the whole people come together. That's more impressive to somebody than being in your living room. You have a regional event, which is more impressive to them than that. And then, you know, the top of the food chain is one of the bashes or the convention. I mean, wouldn't you want to get them to see the bigger picture? Because you know, if you do that, that's the ultimate third-party tool, because the event will sell them. You don't have to. The event will do that for you. You don't have to be the expert, just get them in front of the experts. Does this make sense? You've got to get to the event. That's why they have more points, because the bigger the vision, the bigger the belief. Fast start game plan. Really got a couple more things and then we're going to break. We started a little late, so I apologize. Let me put this way. Hang in there with me for a few more minutes. I know it's tough. Listen, I've sat there many a time in my 15 years. And I never forget what it's like to be new and sit there, so I appreciate it. But hang in there for just a few more minutes, because this is really important. There is a huge difference between just signing someone up and sponsoring them. And for years and years and years, I taught something called effective sponsoring. And here's a point I want to make, I hope to impress upon you, about being successful, getting people started. Because you didn't do all that work of going through the tools and sharing and the calls and the 3 ways and bringing them here and trying to get them there and chasing them, because it's not fun to chase people. You don't want to do that anyway, but you go through all that stuff, you finally get somebody started, you don't want it stopping with them. The reason why you're bringing people on is so you can meet who they know. Because everybody has that Verizon network behind them. I talked to you about being real here today. I'm going to give you some realities and some straight talk about the business so that your expectations can line up with reality and you know what the goals here and why are. Okay? Very, very important. So there's a few important things you need to know. First of all, when you sign somebody up, I just signed up Tracy. She just put her information in the system. I'm either with her or we're over the phone. You need to schedule the Fast Start game plan at sign up. Immediately. Some people lose their mind. They're so excited that they don't, even a baby knows this. Some people are so excited, it's like, cue the kid. I just got Tracy started. I'm going to go, okay, Tracy, here's what we do. I'm going to take her to the back office. I'm going to show her where step 1 of the wheel is, new brand partner training. I'm going to say, you and I are going to have your Fast Start game plan within 24 to 48 hours. I just need you to go through this in between, and we schedule it, and it's in the book. They got 30 days to Fast Start. I don't want her going out there and killing off her warm market before I can give her some words of wisdom and hopefully inoculate her a little bit and work with her. And I don't want to be chasing her for the next 2 days to make an appointment to do something that should have already taken place. I might not get her back. We might be missing each other. That's not what the system says. We talk about being system dependent, right? And the system says schedule their game plan within 24 to 48 hours. Have them go through that new portion of the new brand partner. That's what it says. I'm not going to mess with the McDonald's playbook. That's what it says. and I got to do what I want her. She's going to envision, I put her through this, and she's going to know what to do with her new people. Just like the way I bring her on is the way she's going to see, right? You want the training to be done in what you're doing with them. So you can say, hey, can you just do what I did? And that way you don't have to explain that, oh, well, I didn't do it, but you should. Right? That doesn't. So now, Tracy, I schedule at sign up. Thank you. So, listen, if Tracy is walking, I'm going to say, hey, I understand, busy, but would you rather get paid sooner or later? Because I heard you tell me about your why and everything. I just want to help you get paid and promoted. Is that okay? It doesn't take a lot of great, so let's schedule it. I mean, listen, guys, when it comes to this stuff and scheduling their party and all that stuff, either you're going to buy their story or they're going to buy yours. It's up to you. But just know, when you get challenged like that, a sale is about to take place. Either you're going to buy their story or they're going to buy yours. That's what sponsoring means. It's not up to Tracy to decide or determine or figure out what's going on here. I'm the sponsor. I'm supposed to have that figured out for her. We tell people that this is a business where you're in business for yourself but not by yourself. Well, here's your opportunity to prove it. And if you're brand new, it's not up to you. This is where you bring in your sponsors, your support team, your upline. Because new people training new people doesn't work. Jeff calls it dumb training dumb. Jeff Olson, he's the CEO. Wrote The Sharp Knife. So, sponsoring starts at sign up. So here's some real talk for you. Listen, guys. I don't have control over what Tracy's going to do or what Tracy's not going to do. But I still need to meet who Tracy knows. Understand that 70% of the money you're going to earn, the bank account you hope to build, the legacy you hope to leave, the inheritance to your family, your 401k, which is this business, 70% of that is generated from new people and who they know in ones or twos in their first 30 to 60 days. You know that about this industry? I'm talking about making you aware so you know what you have to do here and why. Giving you the meat. So I have to meet who Tracy knows. Because in case Tracy's the next person that's going to quit in 3 weeks because her Ferrari didn't show up in the driveway or her friend said boo, I don't want all that work I did to stop with Tracy. I still need to meet who she knows for my business. Now, that's not being selfish. I want the best for Tracy. I hope Tracy makes more money than me. I hope she's more successful than me. That's my hope for everyone. And I'm going to work like the devil to make that happen for her. I'm going to give it all I have to be the best support person, spend the time necessary. That's what you have to do with new people. We say you don't want to babysit people, but for the first 30, maybe 60 days, you really have to babysit them. You have to be there with them. But in case Tracy's going to disappear, I still need to meet who she knows to further my business. Everybody's got that Verizon network behind them. And besides, that's a responsible thing for me to do for Tracy, is to help her get the word out to people. If you're bringing people on board, you're not scheduling their parties, identifying who their bottles are going out to on the launch sheet, and hitting send to 20 or 30 or 40 people, you're not getting people started. Go get them is a suicide mission. Me telling Tracy, hey, you got great. Go call people and do that. I'm sending her out to fail, not succeed. How's that going to go? She's brand new. It's not going to go well. Who owns a business here? We talked about this. Who's a business owner? What do you do?
Oh, once.
No, you just like raising your hand. That's cool. It's a stretch. Yeah, that's right. John, forgot about this $500. Who owns a business? Paid, real, retail, real business. What do you do? A walk-in bathtub company. Do you specialize in three-way? I'm just... So, oh, come on.
We're not California.
Yeah, no. So, if I was in California, I'd have my frickin' luggage. Okay. So Gary, you want to walk in? This is a business that you spent time, money, poured your heart into. This is right. Let's say you have a business and a new person just started with your business. Let's say their goal, seriously, was to own a business like yours. They saw it as a good model. They wanted to own a walk-in bathtub business. So they give you $500 and they say, I'm in, right? Would you spend an hour with them? Leave your clients, leave your business to this new person and say, I'll be back and check out things, see how things are going. Would you do that? Take a lot more. Would you leave a new person in charge of your business? Don't leave a new person in charge of your business. Okay? You can't do that. It's the exact same thing. But what if you were by their side, spending time with them, walking them through, talking to clients with them? Do you think they'd have a chance? And that's the difference between really sponsoring someone and signing them up. They will have a greater chance if you're there with them and they include you in the process. And you must do that because you got to meet who they know. And that's the 70% of all of your income. Are you getting this? These are the realities of our business. And if you master this part, I mean, for those of you that have sponsored a bunch of people, where would your business be right now if you got the word out to 20, 30 people for everybody you brought in that they knew? Where would that be? You're all like, wow, yeah, that'd be great. But why? It's simple to do. So, we talked about you go through their launch sheet. Let me talk to you about the different kind of parties. Okay? We've got the training parties where you get your team together, share some food, watch Nerium U. People are more likely to gravitate towards gathering, towards a social setting. This is a relationship business. It's very helpful and supportive. And they feel better about doing this in a group environment. Try not to have people isolated too much. The only thing they feel and see and know is something over the phone or on a computer monitor. Get people together. You'll get trained, you'll have fun, you can mastermind. Real results parties. You all know the value of this. This is what we start everybody off with. It's the fastest way for somebody to get paid and promoted. If you had a new business that you opened up, a clothing store, a restaurant, whatever it is, you have a grand opening, we're asking people to do the same thing here. It's a no-brainer. Don't make it more difficult than it is. Everybody freaked out, same thing, three-way call. It's not more difficult than that. Find people with skin, invite them over, have some food and stuff and drink, play a video, smile. I don't know, all I know is having fun. Stuff works, great. Get your expert on the phone. Can you do that? I know I make it sound simple, but it's because it is. So when it comes to real results parties, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it because you're all brand partners. You know it's the lifeblood of our business. And whether somebody's going to continue doing them for months and years to come, everybody who gets started with me has at least the two, because that's what the system calls for. That's what's in the Fast Start game plan. It's how we help someone launch successfully. And it's in the launch sheet. And I make sure they schedule their two parties. Okay? It's just that simple. And if they're balking, remember a sale's about to be made. And either you're going to buy their story or they're going to buy yours. Bob asked how far apart. I usually schedule somebody's first party, and they're willing to, I'm talking about the general public, about a weekend. Their kid will have been there. I'll have time to ramp them up for that and invite 7 to 10 days at the latest. We want to help fast start. And then I'll ask them to schedule another one like 10 days later. So they have one like around the first week and then by the third week. I've had some people who were ready to go or had experience that had it within their first couple days. You don't need your kid to have a party. Everything is in the back office and you've got stuff. Just understand when you bring somebody in and sit them down to get started, there's some people, they've done something like this before. They're outgoing. They have no trouble getting their act together. And they don't need you as much. And there's other people that are going to need every ounce of you. And that's what sponsoring is all about, okay? So, real results parties. I really encourage you to watch the training in the back office. They put some videos back there under core training. If you go in the back office under training, and then there's training videos. They put some marvelous videos together about the essentials of this business. And so I don't want to be an expert at explaining. I want to be an expert at pointing. It's not up to me to train every single person on every aspect of this business. You've got to build. You've got to remain a free agent. You've got to stay in phase one and focus on your activity because you've got a business that still needs to be built. And it doesn't take that long to work with the willing because there ain't that many willing. So go out and do your thing. Stay in production mode. Stop making excuses why you're not making it because this person didn't do it and that person didn't show up. And I can't get this person on the phone because I signed them up 3 days later and they're already in the witness protection program and on and on and on. Guess what, guys? The same things that happen to you happen to me. Just know that. I'm a good recruiter. I sign a bunch of people up. 2/3, maybe 3/4 of them have disappeared. People I've signed up in the next couple months. And they've got a 6-figure earner who's been successful in this industry over a long period of time. I'm not saying this to be egotistic. I'm just saying that they've got somebody who can really help get to the promised land and they still don't show up. But it's not about me, right? It's about them. It's the individual. You're the variable, like we talked about. I have no control over that, and I'm kind of good at this. And I shake my head because they're miserable. And I want to help them. I want to help these people and show them the attributes of this business. And show them how with much less effort than they're doing right now, they could have freedom in 1/10 the time that they'll never get to in a job for all the time they're going to invest there to make somebody else more comfortable. And they're gone. Why? I don't know. They don't have it. They don't have the DNA. It wasn't in them. They don't have the ability to do this much as much for themselves as they're willing to do for somebody else. Their friends said boo. I don't know. I don't know why that happened. But the same things that happened to you happen to me. I get people not showing up when I call them on the phone for a follow-up call. I get people I get people that don't even show up after they don't come to the thing even though they swore on their kid's life that they'd be here today in the chair. I don't know why that happens. You don't know why that happens. Nobody knows why that happens. Don't sign up for that class. Jim Rohn always used to say, why do people lie? Because they're liars. I don't know. You want to try and figure that out? That's fine, but I wouldn't sign up for that class. That's a waste of your time. But just know that the same things that happen to you happen to me. Right? Life is 10%. What happens to you, 90% how you respond to it. So what? So what are you going to do about it? The only difference between me and the other people it happens to is I didn't quit. I wasn't better, smarter, certainly not, more prepared for this than anybody else. I obviously, like Janae, just wanted it more. And I didn't quit. And I knew I was going to have to work anyway. Why not just go through what these other people have gone through and build my dream? with the same or less effort. Telling you guys. Different kind of parties. We have the in-home party, the market party, where a bunch of people get together. You know what that is, because you're a great leader. And I must say this. Things like this today don't happen unless people step up. And I'm sorry if I'm missing anybody. I don't know the other leaders, but I know that even in the bad weather, Mindy made it there last night. She hosted that event. She paid for that room. It takes a leader to start a marketplace and keep that going. And I just want to congratulate her because she showed up. It ain't easy. She could have made the same excuses. But that's what a leader is, and that's what a leader does. So thank you to Mindy and everybody else, before I forget, that volunteered here today, because this doesn't happen unless people give of themselves. And I want to thank them, even though I don't know everyone's name, for being here and taking time away from your busy schedule, your family, and donating yourselves to creating a event here today. Thank you. So we have the market party, and we have the 3, as everybody says, I love this when they go, 3 you are free. You ever hear that? 3 you are free? The 3 you're free party is when you do that thing for the client, the customer. Right? You do that thing for the customer of they came on board, they, you know, hey, let's have, Amy, why don't we have a skincare party? Your things are growing. Why do you have it? I mean, she had 1 love sticker, now there's 3. Yeah, baby. Oh my. Okay. So, I'm all messed up. 3 or free parties. So that's where we do that for fun. There is one thing I wanted to share with you, which is, I think, something really cool. I know we got a break here. But it's something I really want to share with you guys. Do you know how you can get your customers to look at the business opportunity? Do you want to know how you get your customers to look at the business opportunity? Even your customer prospects who are going through the Nerium experience to look at the business opportunity. Mindy, you're going to love this. So here's how. So I'm done picking on Amy. I'll go talk to somebody else. I'm so sorry. So Ann. Okay. So let's say Ann became a preferred customer of mine. And she's been on the product. It's been a couple of weeks. You know, you just don't, hopefully you're not just leaving people cold after you bring them on as customers. You know, just check on them once in a while, send them a hello. Definitely go to the back office. They provide us with amazing tools. I mean, Jeff is so smart, guys. Don't know how lucky we are, but amazing tools. I always send a card to anybody who comes on the team, the welcome to the team, or the thank you card to somebody that's just gotten the product. It just takes a second. These are important things that don't take a lot of time. And to preferred customer, a couple weeks later, this is what I'm going to call Ann and say. Okay, you ready? Hey Ann, it's Larry. How you doing? Good. I just wanted to say hey. Okay. That's awesome. I appreciate it. I'm excited about using it. I'm waiting to see, let's take a look again. I want to see your pictures in a couple weeks. Listen, I just wanted to run something by you real quick. This, working with Nerium's meant everything to me. And this is where you personalize it. It's your why. It's not mine, it's not anybody else's. Okay? Just understand that. Nerium's been, so great for me and my family, and business is awesome. We've been on the queue, daytime series. Everybody's business is awesome. And I'm looking to team up with a couple people because there's so much happening right now. I just want to ask you, do you know of anybody that might like to make an extra $500 or $1,000 a month just without it interfering with their life, just recommending this amazing product? Do you know of anyone like that? Zip it. Ask the question. Don't go on and on. Ask the question. Wait. See, referrals can be magic. But the problem is, most people don't know how to ask for referrals, and I can understand that. There's fear there, and it could be uncomfortable. But here's I don't mean to toot my own horn, I'm just saying here's the brilliance of psychology of the question I just asked. Because I never asked Anne if she was interested. I asked Anne if she knew of somebody. And by putting it to her that way, I didn't cross the line with my customer. She's not thinking, oh, here it comes, or I knew this was going to happen, or the bait and switch. I could maintain the integrity of that relationship. Do you understand that? Because I never asked Anne. I asked her if she knew of somebody. Now, when you do that, one of four things is probably going to happen. She's either going to say, do you hear that? It's like, yeah, me. Or she could say, you know what, I've just been on it a couple of weeks, I'm loving it, but let me get through maybe a couple more weeks and I might be interested. Or she could say, I've got a couple of girlfriends that work in a salon or a spa or, skin. This might be something they might be interested in. Or she could say, you know what, nobody comes, top of my head, comes to mind, but if I come across somebody who thinks so, I'll let you know. But it allows you to get that word out to your customers without crossing the line with them, and keeping that relationship and the integrity of that intact. Do you see that? Do you understand? So that's the psychology, but the other thing is, guess what you just did? You just planted a seed, fear of loss. Because you said something to them and they're thinking, they don't even hear the rest of your words. Because they're thinking, I'd like that. So duplication, what did you do with them, right? But it plants that seed and that fear of loss. And the whole time, it's working on them. And I'll tell you, you can do the same thing with your prospects. Drop off the 5-day, whatever experience you're doing with Anne, and say, hey, Anne, just do me a favor while you're using this. If you could be thinking about something for me. And I say the exact same thing. It's been awesome for my family. I can't tell you what a difference it's made. Just love working with this company. Business is off the chart. Just if it comes to mind, do you know of anybody that might like? I say the exact same thing, and they might not answer there, but the whole time, 5 days, 7 days, it's working on them. It's fear of loss. How easy is that to say to your customers that same thing? And I promise you, you're going to get activity from them. You're going to get referrals. You're going to get more business. If not them, maybe somebody they know, about 75% of the time. So one activity that you need to do when you leave here, after the Super Bowl, of course, is to break out your customer list buck up, start calling through. She says, hey, I just wanted to run something by you real quick. How are things? Great, you know? Come on, can you all do that? Yes. Do you know that you're going to get business from that? You're going to get business from that. So that's that. Just wanted to share that with you. Hope that helps. So the weekly point gauge, you know, you're looking for 40 points a week. It's 8 points a day, 5 days a week, 8 times 5. Yes. So these are baseline points for staying connected. These are activity points. Really important. Do the activity. You're looking for a 40-point week. And to make this easy, we have Nerium. Smart people that they are, have instituted the 8-point tracker. Now, I know very few people are going to do this. I already know that very few people are going to do this.
She will. When she gets older.
But again, it's your business, and successful people do it, and unsuccessful people are not willing to do it. You're going to track your business. You track your business, you track your inventory, you track sales, you do all this stuff that you have to do in business. Gosh, guys, guess what happens when you treat your business like a business? You actually have a business. You build a business. Treat it like a hobby, it'll just be a hobby. If you're okay with a hobby's paycheck, it's cool. This doesn't have to be anything other than what you need it to be for you. But if you want it to be a business, you got to treat it like a business. So, you know, you do your thing. These are things that don't take a lot of time. You go to the 8-point tracker, you put it in there. This keeps you accountable. This is going to get the biggest cheer. Now hang on, Mindy, you want to do it when they come back because they need a minute? I went a little long. Okay, so there's a fun thing, and Mindy's going to do a fun thing.